Hello everyone. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to secure switch on Cisco Packet Tracer. Let's just start with a small network. As you can see, this is my screen and this is my Cisco Packet Tracer. Click on Network Devices, select Switch and select 2960 switch. Now, we will select two PCs. Now connect these two PCs to the switch using a copper straight through cable. Simple as that. Then we will assign IP addresses to these two PCs. Let's assume the IP address for PC0 is 192.168.1.2, and the IP address for PC1 is 192.168.1.3. Click on PC0 because we need to assign this address to this PC first. Click on Desktop, click on IP Configuration, type 192.168.1.2. If you click here, the subnet mask will come up by itself. Close the window, click on PC1, click on Desktop. Now we will assign this IP address to this PC. Click on IP Configuration, type 192.168.1.3. Click on Submit Mask, and our job is done. As you can see, these are green. Now let's check the connection between PC0 and PC1. Click on PC0, click on Command Prompt, and now ping PC1 from PC0. Type ping 192.168.1.3. As you can see, we are getting successful reply from PC1. Now let's assume this is a part of a larger network. Now our job is to protect this portion of the network. So we want to protect the switch first. To do that, let's add a laptop to the switch first. Click on End Devices, select Laptop, and connect this laptop to the switch using console cable. If you click on this Thunderbolt option, the first cable from the left will be the console cable. Click on the port on laptop, select RS232, click on the switch, select the console port. Now you can manage this switch from this laptop. If you click on the laptop, this window will come up on the screen. Click on Desktop, click on Terminal. You will see the terminal configuration. Click on OK, and then you will see that you are already logged into the switch. You're sitting in this user mode. Now, the first thing we will do, we will set up a password to this switch. Now go to the privileged user mode by typing enable, hit enter, and then go to the global configuration mode by typing configure terminal, hit enter. Now we will enable a password. So type enable secret Cisco. This Cisco, the password will be Cisco and it will be MD5 encrypted. Let's check whether this password works or not. If you completely get out from the global configuration mode and the privileged user mode, you will come to the user mode. Now type enable, enter. It's asking for password, Cisco, enter. Now you are in the privileged user mode. So the first step, we have set up a password for the switch. The next step will be checking all the available VLANs on the switch. Type show VLAN. You will see that VLAN 1 is the default VLAN. You cannot erase VLAN 1 or delete VLAN 1. It's active. That's why all the PC in this network can talk to each other by just plugging into the switch, which is a default service, because they all belong to VLAN 1. Now for this tutorial, we're going to set up a secure access with SSH so that a PC outside of the VLAN 1 or from a different VLAN can SSH into the switch. But the PC's VLAN 1 cannot SSH into the switch. Now we have to create a new VLAN and we will name it as a management VLAN. So the computers from that VLAN can manage the switch. As you can see, we have VLANs from 1 to 1005. 1 is an active VLAN, 1002, 1003, 4, 5. These are all active VLAN. So we will, let's say, type configure terminal. We will activate VLAN 100. We will activate this VLAN. We will rename this VLAN as management VLAN. Now we will check whether we have successfully created this VLAN or not. So type show VLAN. We have successfully activated this VLAN. But as you can see, VLAN 1 has ports, but VLAN 100 does not have any port assigned to it. So we need to assign port to VLAN 100. To do that, type configure terminal. And then if you go back, you will see these ports are assigned to VLAN 1. We will select this port and we will assign this port to VLAN 100, which is FA0 So type FA, not 100, that was, I apologize, that was FA010. So select FA010, hit enter, and then type switch port mode access to make it an access mode port and hit enter to make this port an access mode port. Now type switch port access VLAN 100 to turn the access port into VLAN 100 and hit enter. Now we have assigned a port to VLAN 100. If you want to check, type exit, again exit, and now type show VLAN, enter. You will see that management VLAN has a port assigned to it. Now we need to add a PC to the switch using a straight through cable to port 10, which is now a part of VLAN 100. So click on End Devices, select the PC, click on this Thunderbolt option, select copper straight through cable, fast Ethernet 0, and this one will be fast Ethernet 0 space stroke 10. Fast Ethernet 0 stroke 10. This port is a part of VLAN 100. Now we have to give an IP address to the switch. To do that, click on the administrator laptop And here, first, you will change the host name, and then you will give this an IP address, this switch an IP address. So type configure terminal. Now you are in the global configuration mode. Change the host name to new switch. You have changed the host name, as you can see here, new switch. After that, you type interface VLAN 100. To create a virtual interface called VLAN 100 and hit enter. Now, we will type IP address. Then we will assign an IP address to the switch, which is 192.168.1, let's say 5. We will type the subnet mask, hit enter, type no shutdown, enter. Now you will save your configuration file. The reason is, by any chance, if this switch is rebooted now, whatever changes you have made so far, you will lose everything. So we need to save the configuration file so that we don't lose the configuration file. So type copy, run, start, asking for the destination, confirm the destination. Job done. Now type show run just to check whether we have successfully made everything or not. As you can see that the host name has changed. The password is MD5 encrypted. This is the encryption or encrypted version of the password. And we have assigned an IP address to VLAN 100 or to switch. We can use this IP address to SSH into the switch. As we all know, switch by default doesn't have an IP address. So we decided to give it an IP address. Now we will assign an IP address to this PC because this PC now belongs to VLAN 99. So let's say the IP address for this PC is 192.168.1.4. Now click on the PC, click on desktop, click on IP configuration, type 192.168.1.4. Subnet mask will come up by itself. Close it. Now we will check whether we can call this switch from this PC. So click on the PC, click on command prompt, and then ping this switch from this PC. Type ping 192.168.1.5. Yes, you are getting successful reply from the switch. Now what we will do, we will telnet into this switch from PC2 because PC2 belongs to VLAN 100. First, we need to set up telnet on this switch. To do that, first go to the global configuration mode and then type line VTY 0 to 15, port 0 to 15. And then set up a password. For this tutorial, we're going to use the same password for the sake of learning. Login, end. Now let's check whether this setup, this telnet setup is successful or not. Click on PC2, type telnet and the IP address of the switch, which was 192.168.1.5. Asking for password. We have successfully telnet into the switch. Now, the only problem is telnet access is not secured. It is not encrypted. That is why we are going to disable telnet and enable SSH, because SSH access is secure. It's encrypted. So let's try that. We will log out from the switch. And now what we will do, we will disable telnet and enable SSH. To do that, go to the global configuration mode by typing configure terminal, enter. And then we need to give a domain name. So we will type IP domain name. Let's say someschools.com. Enter. Then type crypto key generate RSA. To set up secure keys, which means public and private keys, hit enter. Now, it says choose the size of the key modules in the range of 360 bits to 2048 bits for your general purpose keys. Choosing a key modulus greater than 512 may take a few minutes. So the standard is 1024 bits. So we will type 1024, enter. It says generating 1024 bit RSA keys. Keys will be non-exportable. Absolutely fine with me. Type IP SSH version 2. We have enabled SSH version 2. Then type, it says here, SSH 1.99 has been enabled. Now type line VTY 0 to 15 to go to the line config mode and type transport input SSH to change it from telnet to SSH. Our job is done. Now let's try whether we can telnet into the switch from PC2 of VLAN 100. We'll try to do that again. Let's see. Telnet 192.168.1.5. It says closed by foreign host, which means we have successfully disabled telnet. Now, go back to the laptop. Type exit. Again, type exit. Now you are in the privileged user mode. Type show IP SSH. As you can see, SSH version 2.0 is enabled. Now we will try to SSH into this switch as an admin. So go back to this PC. This PC belongs to VLAN 100. Type SSH space -L. Now we are going to SSH into this switch as an admin. Asking for password. We have successfully SSH'd into the switch from PC2. Now for a better security, we will create users so that only authorized users can SSH into the switch. To do that, go back to the administrator laptop. Go to global configuration mode and type username I'll write my name here as user. Password will be new user. But also, this password is MD5 protected, MD5 encryption protected. Hit enter. Now the username and password is now stored in local database right on the Cisco switch. Now, what we need to do, we'll type line VTY 0215 and then we'll type logging local. To use the local database for logging when we SSH into the switch. Now, this is done. Now let's test this username and password. So once again, we will go back to PC2, which belongs to VLAN 100. And now we will type, we'll just exit from this one first, then we will type SSH L-L. We will log into the switch as Tanvir, then type 192.168.415, asking for password, Cisco, okay, again SSH, the password was new user. The password was new user. Yeah, we have successfully SSH into the switch. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so every time I post something new on my channel, you'll be able to watch it. Thank you very much for today.